just say, they want honesty from their politicians. A lot of people are kind of frustrated with politics as usual. They want to see change. There's a lot of anger. State of Utah, there's this reputation of being conservative, but it's also a really young state. If you look at the population that's 18 and over, about 46% of them are actually millennials. It's the youngest state in the nation. There's actually more millennials in Utah than Gen Xers and baby boomers combined. But the problem in Utah is that voter participation is really low. 2014 election, state of Utah had about 28.8% turnout rate. Is the second lowest after Texas, which had 28.5%. So we're kind of forfeiting our government to conservatives because a lot of times, a lot of Democrats and Democratic voters, they feel like there's not a choice because Utah Democratic Party for a long time, they've not made these self-described conservative Democrats who are pro-life, anti-LGBT, pro-war. It's just almost indistinguishable from the Republican. But like, well, they're not quite as extreme, but then they end up losing, by like 30-point margins because they don't appeal, they don't offer an alternative. So I think it's important to really, offer a real alternative to Republicans. We're going to be, say, as Democrats, we're going to stand up for a living wage. We're going to stand up for women's rights. We're going to stand up for the LGBT community. We're going to give you affordable college. We're going to try to address our racist criminal justice system, at least to people of color being disproportionately stopped, searched, arrested, charged, tried, convicted, and incarcerated. We're going to, fight to offer a new vision for this country and look at the future instead of, trying to think about these old ideas and start saying the things that people, honestly, a lot of people want politicians to say. State of Utah is like the person I'm running against, a guy named Mike Lee, who is actually not that popular in Utah. Most recent poll shows he only has like a 38% approval rating. A lot of people think he's a lock for re-election, but I think we're going to surprise him. I mean, every step of the way, people have underestimated me. A lot of people thought I would never get out of convention. I did. A lot of people thought I'd never win the primary. I won the primary by a 19% margin despite being outspent 4-1, and it's because I had a...
Quick, 19% outspent 4-1, and you won because you speak the truth.
Yeah, the issues I was talking about really resonated with voters, and I feel, like Mike Lee, he has like $1 million, which actually isn't a lot for a Senate race, but a lot of people, don't think that it's not competitive, so there's no donations coming in. But I think, I think with the tension, a lot of people are realizing, as a Bernie Sanders movement, I think the next step in the political revolution is, we have to start, supporting candidates down the ballots. Like the senator from Utah, has just as much power over your lives as the senator from Texas or the senator from Florida or the senator from Vermont. If we want to really change our dialogue in the nation, we need to get more progressives elected throughout the country, no matter where they're from, because more progressives you have in Congress, the easier it is to support a progressive agenda and to start fighting for the policies that Bernie Sanders talked about. We want to have a $15 minimum wage. We want to have affordable college. We want to reform our criminal justice system. We need more progressives in Congress, and it really doesn't matter which state they're elected for, because every victory you get is another vote, and I think that's the lesson we need to learn, and I think that's where we need to go forward.
Excellent. Thank you. So sort of continuing on this theme of this conventional wisdom, the idea that in red states or in purple states,